Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLES FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Philadelphia, EAGLES FANS. Let's get to the news. Alright, folks, buckle up, because what we're about to discuss is not just another rumor or a passing headline. This is something that could reshape the NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles, and perhaps the entire landscape of the NFL in the upcoming seasons. The Eagles, as many of you know, have been one of the most exciting teams to follow over the past few years, especially since their Super Bowl LII victory in 2018. But as always, in the NFL, the landscape is constantly shifting, and right now, we're witnessing a period of significant change, both in terms of roster moves, strategic shifts, and the division's power dynamics. Let's start by looking at the recent developments that have been stirring the pot among Eagles fans and NFL analysts alike. The Philadelphia Eagles have been relatively quiet in terms of major roster changes, but behind the scenes, there's a lot of movement happening. We've seen some key players being evaluated, some trades being whispered about, and a lot of speculation about how the team is positioning itself for the upcoming season. It's no secret that the Eagles have built a very competitive roster, with a strong core of young talent and experienced veterans, but what might surprise many is the strategic direction this team seems to be heading. The Eagles' front office has been working diligently to balance between maintaining their core and adding fresh pieces that could elevate the team to even higher levels. This includes not only draft picks and free agent signings, but also some internal shifts in coaching and game planning. The recent offseason has been all about preparing for a potential championship run, and the organization's focus on assembling a versatile, dynamic roster is evident. They're clearly aiming for a team that can adapt to various game situations, especially in a division as competitive as the NFC East, which is now more talented than ever. Speaking of the NFC East, this is where things get really interesting. The division has historically been a battleground, with fierce rivalries and unpredictable outcomes. But lately, the balance of power has been shifting. The Dallas Cowboys, for example, have invested heavily in their defense and are looking to bounce back after a couple of underwhelming seasons. The Washington Commanders have also been making moves, trying to rebuild and find their identity. And the New York Giants, under new leadership, are aiming to return to prominence after a couple of tough years. Yet, despite all this, the Eagles have managed to maintain a stronghold, thanks to their consistent performance, innovative coaching, and a roster loaded with talent. But the big news that's been circulating lately involves potential roster changes, some big-name players either being rumored to leave or to be signed. This kind of speculation always gets fans excited and anxious at the same time. For instance, there are whispers about the Eagles possibly adding a high-profile wide receiver or a shutdown cornerback to bolster their defense. Others suggest that they might look to trade some draft capital for a proven veteran to fill an urgent need. Whatever happens, one thing is clear: the Eagles are not content to sit still. They're actively scouting, negotiating, and positioning themselves to stay ahead of the curve. Now, let's talk about the offense, which has been a real highlight for the Eagles in recent seasons. Jalen Hurts has emerged as one of the league's most exciting dual-threat quarterbacks, combining precision passing with spectacular rushing ability. His development over the past year has been nothing short of remarkable, and with the supporting cast of receivers like A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, the Eagles' offense is poised to be even more explosive in 2024. The coaching staff, led by head coach Nick Sirianni, continues to innovate, emphasizing a balanced attack that keeps defenses guessing. They've been working on expanding Hurts' playbook, and if all goes well, we might see him take another leap, possibly cementing his place among the league's elite. On the defensive side, the Eagles have been fortifying their unit with strategic signings and draft picks. Fletcher Cox, Darius Slay, and Brandon Graham continue to be the backbone of that defense, but there's also a lot of excitement about some young players stepping up. The team's defensive scheme under coordinator Jonathan Gannon has been praised for its adaptability and aggression, especially in critical moments. With the NFC East being so competitive, the Eagles know that a stout defense can be the difference maker, especially in close games and playoff scenarios. Now, what about the draft? The Eagles have been active in the offseason, and their draft strategy was quite interesting. They prioritized adding speed, versatility, and depth at key positions. Some of the picks were aimed at addressing specific needs, like linebacker and secondary help, but they also took chances on athletes with high ceilings who could develop into starters down the line. This indicates a long-term vision, building a roster that's not just ready for 2024, but well-positioned for future seasons. And speaking of future seasons, expectations are sky-high for Philadelphia. After reaching the NFC Championship game last year, the bar has been set even higher. Fans are hungry for another Super Bowl appearance, and with the team's current trajectory, the optimism is very real. The division is tougher than ever, but the Eagles seem to have the right mixture of talent, coaching, and resilience to push through. It's also worth noting that the NFL landscape is unpredictable. Injuries, unexpected performances, and even coaching changes can shake things up overnight. That's part of what makes this sport so exciting to follow. As we look ahead, the key for the Eagles will be consistency and health. Staying injury-free, maintaining their chemistry, and making strategic moves at the right moments will be crucial. The NFC East is no longer a two-team race. It's a multi-team battle, and Philadelphia needs to be at their best to come out on top. The team's leadership, both on and off the field, has shown a lot of resilience and adaptability, which are essential qualities in a league where the margin for error is razor-thin. Now, let me tell you a little about the history of the Eagles, because understanding their legacy really helps to put all this current buzz into perspective. The franchise has a rich tradition, dating back to their founding in 1933. Over the decades, they've had their share of ups and downs, but what's always stood out is their passionate fan base and their never-give-up attitude. The Eagles have won 3 NFL championships before the Super Bowl era and have been to the big game a few times, most famously in 1980 and 2004. But it was the 2017 season that really redefined the franchise, with that incredible Super Bowl win under Doug Peterson, a team that fought through adversity and made history in what many still call one of the greatest comebacks in NFL Super Bowl history. Fast forward to today, and the team is once again in a position to contend, with a roster built around a mix of seasoned veterans and promising young stars. The organization has learned from its past setbacks, emphasizing culture, resilience, and a relentless drive to succeed. This is why the current buzz around roster moves and division rival shifts is so important. These are the pieces that could make or break their Super Bowl ambitions. And of course, the fan base remains one of the most passionate and dedicated in the league. Eagles fans are known for their unwavering support, whether at Lincoln Financial Field or cheering from afar. Their chants, their energy, and their loyalty are what make the team special. The current season promises more moments like that, with the potential for epic wins, heartbreaking losses, and ultimately a shot at bringing another Lombardi Trophy back to Philadelphia. So what's next? Well, we're all watching closely as the offseason continues, with training camps opening soon and rosters getting finalized. The Eagles are clearly in a calculated mode of building for the present and future, and if recent history is any indication, they're not just aiming to participate, they want to dominate. The NFC East is fierce, but the Eagles are ready to stake their claim, and I believe we're in for one of the most exciting seasons in recent memory. Remember, the NFL is always full of surprises. Injuries, coaching adjustments, unexpected breakout stars, anything can happen. But what's certain, and what we're all counting on, is that the Philadelphia Eagles are not just contenders. They're title contenders, and they have all the pieces in place to make a deep playoff run. The team's resilience, combined with their strategic moves in this offseason, shows that they're serious about reclaiming their place at the top of the league, and maybe, just maybe, bringing another Super Bowl to the city of brotherly love. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these developments? Do you think the Eagles are on the verge of something special this season? Are you excited about the roster moves, or do you think they need to make more? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more in-depth analysis, and the latest news straight from the heart of Eagles country. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep this conversation going because the Philadelphia Eagles are just getting started, and the best is yet to come.